Many times when we are dating, our incompatibilities are complicated and we feel emotionally loaded so that we decide to brush all the things we know to be uncomfortable and incompatible under the rug. But is it wise to do that? I mean, you've been dating for a minute and you are now thinking engagement and possibly marriage. But you and I know that marriage is not going to make your partner all of a sudden good with money. Or marriage or an engagement will not make them all of a sudden better at managing the time they spend on social media or helping around with the house chores. Marriage is not going to fix that. And so then it requires that we have conversations, many times uncomfortable conversations, to see if we square and if we're in tandem about the things that matter in a relationship. This past Friday, we were doing the live and somebody asked me, what do you feel about the things to look out for to gauge your compatibility levels in a relationship before you commit to a serious relationship? And that question lingered in my mind most of the weekend. And I thought to have a quick chat with you this Monday. Happy New Week, by the way. I hope nobody slapped you because you spoke smack about their wife. My name is Eric and this is Eric Stories. Good to see you this Monday. You look fine and well rested. And let's talk about real quick questions in my mind that I feel are important that you and your significant other, including myself, when I get ready for that sort of a conversation, and upon meeting a significant other, questions we need to address before we commit to a serious relationship. Because I think your chances of survival are far much better if you are better equipped and you know how to segue in and out of some of these sometimes daunting challenges that life presents to us in a relationship. Is it your first time here? If it is, thank you so much. I value that you found it useful to spend a few moments of your time with me on Eric Stories. We try and make sense here on Eric Stories about adult conversations as it pertains to relationships, lifestyle, money, and sex, and anything in between adult, including taboo subjects. I love your mind about all of this stuff, so please acquaint yourself with my social media handles and share with me what you think is another thing, be it a thing you discovered after getting married, or maybe when a relationship went sour and you decided that this is a must-have in your next relationship. All right? So questions that I think are important, or subject matters that I think are important to discuss before you commit to a serious relationship. I have about 4 categories and I jotted down a few questions. These, again, have largely emanated from conversations I've had with friends of mine who are divorced, those who are very unhappy in their current relationships, and things I've had, being regurgitated in the relationships that are not very stable. And many times they bring about a fight, all right? So first and foremost, I think around health. These are some of the thoughts I think we should readily be comfortable to discuss and not bury everything or brush everything under the rugs, especially if you are intending to be in a committed relationship. Are there underlying histories with drugs and alcohol, anxiety and depression, or any other mental issues that you want to talk about with your significant other? What is their relationship with alcohol? All right? Are they in a steady relationship? All right? What are your views on therapy when we are talking about mental health? What are their views on marriage or marital counseling or alternative medicine? And when would you choose to seek these out? That's important, don't you think? Instead of just smiling and saying, hey, sometimes when he's stressed, he goes hard on the bottle, but generally he's a stand-up guy. If that's going to be a problem for you further down the road, you want to address it now. Don't brush it under the rug. Again, about health, how do you handle stress and conflict? All right? What is acceptable stress relief and how much time and money feels okay to be spent by an individual on self-care? Will they sulk when you go for therapy or maybe a full body massage with the regularity of often? Talk about that. What are your expectations about physical exercise? And what happens should your bodies change? I know a very close friend of mine, he was courting this woman, they were about to get married, and he said, you have to do something about your body. He said that to the woman. And so every morning at some very wee hours of the morning, he'd wake up and they'd go for a run, and he started training her so that she would lose weight. Thank God she was happy and up for it. Maybe somebody else isn't. Maybe somebody else would say, take me as I am. So what are your expectations about physical exercise? Are you going to hope that they change their eating habits, for instance, so that they become lean as you? Or are you okay with the way they are? Something to talk about. Something to talk about. About family. I think these are important. How will big holidays be spent? These can cause rifts. You don't want to be ostragic and bury your head in the sand. How will big holidays be spent? Whose mother are we visiting over Easter, which is around the corner? And what do we do around Christmas? How will vacations involve extended families? If we decide that we are flying down to Lamu this weekend, is your mom coming with us because you love your mom so dearly? Is she coming consistently and perpetually as a habit, or just this one-off? How much will you go to your family for advice? That's also important. When we fight, will everyone, including your siblings, know about our drama? All right? Or can we keep some of that stuff to ourselves? How will caregiving be handled as our parents age, logistically and financially? And then, very important, what will happen if pregnancy doesn't occur easier? Are things like IVF or adoption up for discussion for you? What does he or she feel about that? Something to talk about. Something to talk about. What do you think? Scholastica, what is your mind about this stuff? Another question you can ponder on over coffee before you say, I do. How do you prioritize friends, and how do you feel about each other's friends? Are you one of those people who is my BFF? Nobody can come between me and my BFFs. We've gone through things. And he's like, hey, if your friends are being funny, then it can affect our relationship. All right? On living together, conversation worth having. How will you divide the workload of your household chores? Are you comfortable doing everything? Future Mrs. Omondi, from wiping the carpet, changing the nappies, brushing the wall, brushing the bedroom, changing the bed sheets, washing the duvets, washing the cleaning, cooking for him? Or would you require that he helps? And what is he comfortable helping with? Everything? Is that your requirement? Or just some things? Is he just only going to get trash out? Something worth talking about before you giggle and say, okay, oh my God, you have dimples. Okay, our babies will have dimples. Our babies will have dimples. Come, baby, chum, chum, chum. Something worth talking about. What are your sleep and eating habits, and how well do they match? Does he eat at midnight and you prefer to eat way early in the day, maybe at 6 p.m.? Is that going to be a problem, or everybody can eat whenever? Or are you big on eating together at the dining table? You as a woman, him as the man, and your children. Who needs more time alone? I know I would need some time alone eventually if I get married. I try to keep to myself and think about my thoughts quite a bit. Who needs more quiet time? Something to think about. Who needs more air conditioning? Or who needs more neatness? How important to you is a clean, orderly space? Or can you have things running around and clothes piled up on top of books? Questions that are very important in my mind to talk about before you commit to a serious relationship that might lead to I do. Sometimes it's wiser, if you don't see the chances of survival, to just quickly say I don't before doing, right? Let me know. What other question did you think to ask? which you regret not asking if you are in this thing already. Good evening. Happy Monday.